Thanks Self-Record University for sponsoring this video. Have you ever had a worst haircut experience? I guess the time when I went to Supercuts, I had cuts on my head. A great way to start learning how to cut your own hair is just to give yourself a buzz cut. Would you be willing to try doing a super high fade on your channel? I think it would look a little ridiculous. Were you nervous when you did the one all over with no fade? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Can you speak Greek and Portuguese? I can't speak Portuguese. That's like the worst language in my caliber. I'm learning Greek. I'm probably at like kindergarten level. I think I'm probably at like a 5th grade level with Spanish, and then obviously English I'm fluent in. So I would say I definitely speak way more Spanish than Greek. I speak a decent amount of Greek. I can read Greek. I understand it if it's slowly enough, but I'm still learning both, right? I'm learning Spanish and Greek at the same time. And then Portuguese is kind of like a mix between Spanish. But maybe down the line, after I learn Spanish fluently, Greek fluently, I'll take on Portuguese. Angel Too Sharp asks, have you ever had a worst haircut experience? I guess the time when I went to Supercuts, they're not barbers, but the hairstylist, I guess, just did an absolute terrible job. You pay people money to do a service for you, and they do a really bad job, right? I got a really bad haircut, still paid for it. I had cuts on my head. It just didn't look good, and that was kind of the turning point which made me want to start cutting my own hair, because it was like, these guys, they're licensed, they've got certificates to cut hair, and they're still messing up. And it's like, I'm a little kid, so it's like, I want to take the risk and try and do something myself. So I think that was probably one. I think there was another one where I tried to do like a challenge with a beard trimmer, and one of the guards, it said like 3 or 6 millimeters on it. I put on the guard and I went up to do a second guideline, and I went up with the trimmer, and the same amount of hair that I cut before was cut above it for the new guideline. So it was basically like putting in the first guideline, only going up 2 inches instead of just 1. So I was like, this is trash. I had to do a whole like brand new type of haircut that I didn't want to give myself just to fix it. I was really upset about it. Hello there, decided to give myself a buzz cut in support of your tutorials. Awesome. Yeah, for sure. Buzz cuts are really simple. A great way to start learning how to cut your own hair is just to give yourself a buzz cut, right? Just to get familiar with the tools and familiar with how the guards react with the size on your hair. LF, you need to try the south side fade. Yeah, at some point I probably will. Once I eventually do buzz my hair, I'll probably give it a shot at that point. Zach M, would you be willing to try doing a super high fade on your channel? Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Just obviously not now because my hair is a little too long. I think it would look a little ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, there's always a time and place for everything, and I'll definitely give it a shot. But send me a picture on Instagram or Discord of what exactly you mean, because by super high fade, that can mean anything. Expansion ML, tips on cutting back hair. I get confused which way I'm going. Yeah, I mean, it depends what type of mirror setup you have. If you use the mirror setup that I have, you might not have that much difficulty because there's only 2 mirrors versus a 3-way mirror, and then versus a handheld mirror, right? I've done a handheld mirror. I've done a few on my channel. You can see it, and I'm pretty sure I talk about it in the video, how my hand's like shaking, right? It's hard to cut your hair when you've got a shaking hand, right? You're supposed to use your left hand to hold the vanity. Just put your hand on the vanity to support yourself, make yourself stable so that you can properly put in lines, right? Straight lines, not crooked, jaggedy lines. Yeah, man, tips on cutting the back of your head, just practice with the mirrors with the clippers turned off. That's gonna be the best thing that I can tell you. Just like with everything in life, practice makes perfect. The best way to make it the least amount of risk is to practice with the clippers in your hand, but with them off. Just make sure that the clippers, when you're looking through the mirrors, that they're angled 90 degrees, perpendicular to your head, and they're going like this and not like this, right? Sideways or like this. It's gotta be perfect. So practice makes perfect. When do you think you will do the half buzz cut, as in month, year? I couldn't give you an answer, man, to be completely honest. I'll just say not anytime too soon. I'm not looking to give myself a buzz cut anytime in the near future, right? So this could be 3, 6, 8 months from now. It really just depends. Can you do a design tutorial? I mean, sure. Yeah, I can try to do a design. I haven't done a design on my channel yet. If I were to try and do a design, it'd probably just be like a few straight lines or just some lines. But I don't know, give me an idea that you think is possible or that you would like to see, and I'll give it a shot. I don't know when, but probably when I buzz my hair, when it's shorter and easier to just fade if I don't like it. Do you rather use cordless clippers or corded clippers? 100% use cordless clippers, right? A clipper with no cord is way better. And I say this from experience because I used to use the Super Taper 2 clippers from Wall. The cord was like super thick. It was an excellent clipper, right? About $80. It was a really thick and like good quality clipper. But the problem is, and I used this clipper for like 5, 6, 7 years. Problem with the corded clippers are that they get extremely hot really fast. You have to remember, the clipper's plugged into the wall, so it's constantly being fed electricity, which electricity is hot, right? Especially the longer you have something running. Things get hot, right? You plug your computer in to the charger, it gets hot. You plug your phone in, it gets hot. Anytime you have something plugged in while you're using it, it gets hot faster. 100% buy cordless. Spend the extra money to get a decent quality cordless clipper. It'll definitely be worthwhile. Don't buy corded because your hands are going to catch on fire, and then the blades are going to get really hot really fast, and you're gonna, probably hurt your scalp. Before we continue with the video, I want to thank today's sponsor, Self Haircut University. My goal with SHU is to help you fast track your hair cutting education. Whether for self haircuts or cutting other people's hair, SHU covers both options. So that means less mistakes, faster results, and thousands saved every single year for the rest of your life. Now, within 72 hours of joining, I'll personally be hosting a new member group coaching call to help you get started on the right track, as well as answer any upfront questions that you might have. With over 14 years of self-haircut experience, 120 plus lectures, weekly group coaching calls, live streamed self-haircut tutorials, 24 to 48 hour feedback, and even one-on-one coaching calls with me directly, there's no better person with more passion than myself to teach you how to cut your own hair. Click on the first link in the description to start today. Thank you, Self Haircut University, for sponsoring this video. Were you nervous when you did the one all over with no fade? Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You guys have to think about this. The only reason why I do such extreme haircuts are for you guys, because you want me to do it and you want me to create the tutorial on how you guys should be doing it, right? Like, what's the best way to give yourself a one guard all around buzz cut? So how do you do it? The only reason why I do it is for you guys, because you ask for it, and because I'm like, all right, I feel confident enough to walk around the streets with a really, really, really short haircut. So I'm okay with it. You guys are lucky. You guys should be thanking me. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I was definitely a little bit nervous. Did you wear a lot of hats when you went with low buzz cuts? Honestly, no. I think the only reason why I would wear a hat was to just protect my scalp when I was going outside and it was really sunny outside. Otherwise, no, I don't think. Yeah, the only reason why I would wear a hat is if I was just protecting my scalp against the sun. Otherwise, I didn't wear a hat because I was like insecure about my haircut. No, it wasn't that. It was really just because I know I've got sensitive skin, so I got to take care of my sensitive skin one way or the other, and that's obviously to wear a hat. Angel Too Sharp, have you ever heard of the Mama Don't Worry haircut? What is that? Is that a real thing? Is this a real haircut? It looks like he's got some, I don't know what he's got, but it's like a weird type of backwards mullet type thing. But the hair is like angled at like a 90-degree angle. It's like a high top, but with the back of his head. Yeah, it's literally like he's got a crap ton of hair on the back, and then it looks like he's got like a taper on the front. I don't know, man. People are just trying to get attention nowadays with these weird haircuts. Otherwise, you guys, if you haven't already, definitely check out my program, Self Haircut University. It's the first link in the description down below. I mean, we do it all, right? I'm here to help you guys learn how to cut your own hair. I'm here to help you guys save your money and save your time by cutting your own hair, so you don't have to pay money and spend your time and energy driving to the barbershop, waiting in those ridiculously long lines, and then you have to tip them after their hour-long haircut. It's just a lot of extra work and hassle and time and energy that you don't really need to put up with if you would just practice to learn this skill set, so you don't have to go to the barbershop anyway, right? You can just walk 10 feet to your bathroom and start cutting your own hair. And then on top of knowing how to cut your own hair, you also know how to just cut hair in general. So what that means is, if you've got children, right? Sons, you've got cousins, you've got a father, grandfather, friends, whoever, you now know how to cut your own hair, which then in turn, you can cut other people's hair as well and save them money as well. If that's what you want to do, right? If you've got dad, brother, you can save everybody, the whole family, money, right? And time. So that's why I recommend, joining the Self Haircut University and joining the program. Is very affordable. I made the prices very, very affordable for everybody to start learning. And I know the demand's not very high, but I think it's definitely something everyone should be looking into doing. But I appreciate you guys for all joining, and I'll catch you guys next week for the next podcast.